To the northwest now, where the Education MEC Viola Motsumi says that learners in farm schools and special needs schools in the province must be given the same opportunities to succeed in life as their peers in mainstream. MEC Motsumi announced this during the presentation of the provincial matric results of 2022. Our reporter Refiloe Seboko is joining us now. Refiloe, great to speak to you. Obviously, celebrations all around, many learners having done extremely well in that matric class of 2022.
Well, good afternoon, Hugo. Of course, celebrations are ongoing. In fact, inside the hall, what's going on inside is the awards ceremony that is happening. Top achievers are being handed over awards as the MEC was announcing that the province, yes, it might have dropped to position 5. However, they have done well in terms of improving in other areas. We remember that the province has about 79.8% in terms of the pass rate of the 2022 matric results. But allow me, like you rightfully said, the issue of special schools and farm schools in the province, MEC calling that for special schools, Melusi, they must have equal opportunities. Thank you so much and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Tell us about the challenges that special schools in the northwest province are faced with.
Let me firstly take this opportunity to welcome the listeners. First, special schools really do face a lot of challenges because learners that are in special schools are having some difficulties. They've got cognitive challenges and some of them have multi-disabilities. So a learner can be in a special school that is doing mainstream curriculum but also having some of the challenges like some of the physical disabilities, some of the neurological disorders, and as a result of that they cannot really achieve as learners that are in the mainstream school.
And as MEC Viola Motsumi was calling that opportunities should be equal in special schools compared to the mainstream schools, where do you think there needs to be a focus when it comes to those opportunities?
Opportunities that needs to be given to learners in special schools is to ensure that whatever support is given to mainstream school is not excluding learners in special schools, because what is happening in mainstream school is that teachers would go there and support learners with regard to the curriculum, but when going to special schools they think that they need to come up with something that is different. But what really needs to happen in special schools is that the curriculum needs to be adapted. Teachers are trained on how to do that. The officials are trained on how to do that. One of the challenges that we also experience is that there are specialties with regard to special schools. For instance, the school in Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Northwest Secondary School for the Deaf, one of our schools that did not achieve well, does not have the educators that are really effective in teaching the learners, because they are, yes, having the content qualification, but some of them lack the qualification on South African Sign Language. So it becomes a challenge with regard to the learners. If I can also cite one of the schools in Dr. Ruth Mompati, Christiana School for the Blind, learners need to be trained on doing Braille. Teachers are being trained, officials that are supporting the schools are also being trained. But we do have a challenge as a province because Northwest is a rural province. After training the teachers, they leave the province because they are now empowered, they are certificated, and they go to the urban provinces. So it is like we are filling a leaking bucket, but we're not going to give up. We will continue seeing how best we can give them the opportunity so that in the long run they also achieve like other learners.
And let's talk about, like you rightfully mentioned, some schools that did not perform well. Onkgopotse Tiro are obtaining 97%, Meerhof in Bojanala obtaining 100%, some of the special schools in the province. What went right in those schools that you, together with the department going forward, will be able to, use in other schools to make sure that they equally have same opportunities, or rather more opportunities, and also perform better next time?
I'll say that an effective school has an effective manager and the support of other stakeholders and officials in the department. And with a school in Bojanala, Meerhof, that has achieved 100%, that school starts with a grade R. And, they are able to track the performance of the learners from a very early age. It's unlike in other schools where a school will be having will have to feed another school. They don't exactly know what are challenges that the learners are being faced with, because as required by the department, the learners need to move with their profiles so that when teachers prepare, at least they know how best they prepare for the learner, they accommodate them. They don't have to teach and then think about including the learners in their plan. But that's one of the challenges that are being experienced by the school. But I'm saying that it involves everyone, the teachers, the parents, the learners themselves, the officials, and everyone in the department to support such learners.
I wanted to even come to the issue of the parents. Are they coming on board in terms of working together? Like you're saying, it includes everyone. What is the involvement of the parents in making sure that you work together with the teachers, the department, in supporting these learners?
Parents are becoming on board. One challenge with regard to deaf learners is that the parents themselves do not know the sign language that is being used by learners in the school. So they use the traditional sign language. So because learners stay in, for some time in boarding facilities, when they go home, they cannot really communicate with learners. So it becomes a bit of a challenge for these parents to, bond with their children, to communicate with them, and to support them intensively, like with other parents who have learners in mainstream schools.
Thank you so much for your time. Lucy Tong, she is the Chief Education Specialist in the special schools in the Northwest Province, highlighting some of the challenges and some of the plans that they have going forward in making sure that, like Onkgopotse Tiro, that has achieved 97%, which is under Ngaka Modiri Molema. It is in Ramotsiri local municipality, Meerhof in Bojanala District, also achieving Hugo 100% in terms of their matric results for 2022. But like she also mentioned that there's a school in Christiana that has not performed that well, which MEC Viola Motsumi was also highlighting that it is of concern, and some of the challenge is that of teachers who now are not well trained, and MEC Motsumi saying that they are going to continue working together with other stakeholders to make sure that educators are trained in making sure that they are communicating, they're able to communicate rather with learners in these special schools that are in need of more attention, and also make sure that they perform much better than they did in 2022.
Refiloe Seboko coming to us from the Northwest, where some schools have performed outstandingly, with some achieving a 100% pass rate.